We're rolling. We're going to figure that out. Okay, let's go direct right here to 4. Can I do that? Oh, what's up with that? Oh, what's up? Or is it 3, 2? Yeah, we'll go to 2. Oh, 2 is 1 now. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. This is Simulation Series. I'm Ron Vargas.
What's up? What's up?
And there's Alan Sakian over there.
What's up?
Oh, there's the credits again. Oh, I got to shoot this off. All right, let's come over there and do this off.
Whoops, there's the credits again. Yeah, we're really figuring out how to best use this technology. You've got a little quad view going on right there. It's kind of cool.
Yes, that's right. Right now, Alan and I were just talking, and there I am over there. And I thought it would be best to just capture this. We should, be ready to just put these conversations available. 2 people trying to work something out.
Exactly.
And is this my water? Did you bring this?
That's your water.
Thank
Also,
you.
what's the live shot to the program?
4.
Top. 4 is in the top right?
No, all 4. They're watching all 4 angles right now. I mean, I can switch. Let's do that. Oh, did I? Oh, what happened?
Hold on.
This keyboard is not connected.
Whatever.
Whatever. So we got the quad. You got views from all different angles.
Which is cool. Yeah, let's do that.
Right.
Because we're also trying to figure out how to bring the keyboard over here to use it for mixed effects purposes.
Or the iPad.
The iPad.
We're supposed to be able to with the TriCaster that we use, this TC1 New Tech TriCaster. How much was it? $19,000?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And we don't want to get into that right now.
Yeah, we're not going to get into that, but it will be cool to have the iPad software just to be able to sit here and switch between cameras on the live feed.
I wonder if it's okay.
But let's
yeah.
Something went up with the keyboard. We'll just leave you guys at the quad view. Ron and I have a very interesting dynamic between each other. We got like a Ron's like an older brother to me. He can sometimes also be like my dad at times. Really spiritual, but also wise. It's fun to have Ron as the director and producer of the show.
It's fun to be working for you. With that being said, sorry to interrupt. I know you want to say your piece, but I just can't help but interject. Did you correct my English as well?
I just said with. It's fun to work with you. We have a really good amount of guests that are coming on the show that Ron's been enjoying. Sometimes we have guests that Ron doesn't enjoy that as much.
Who was it that I didn't enjoy?
Let's not.
Do you want to drop names?
Let's not say that.
I mean, and why? And who are the really? It's been a great mix of guests that you've had on your show. If anybody. If any of my close friends are watching this right now, I'm working on this program with Alan Sakian right here. Alan Sakian, we got all these different angles. There he is,
Ron Vargas.
Over there. But it's good. It's good.
We got a lot of work to do to make it punchier and catchier and faster and funner.
We got to make it fun. I met him with 3 comedians in his show. I met him, and we've yet to have. Who have we had in the comics on Eureka? Why can't we? What about Eureka?
Well, we already brought. We had a.
Do we have any clips of Eureka? Let's. We can put the clips in the link of Eureka. The show that they did.
A science comedy show that we're going to do something else, somewhat similar to something like that down the line. We had some comedians that were going to come on the show that had to back out because of some family issues, but we will get some comics on the show as well, just because it's fun to sit down with comedians.
Did Daya get back to you?
Yeah, so we'll explore the comedians thing. So Ron and I really wanted to keep this live stream focused on our dynamic, because we think that there's a lot of people that are going through relationships with partners, with like a business partner, with with someone that they work with on a daily basis, that they have some sort of both like a lot of positive relationships with, but also like a couple there's some like negativities as well.
Communication. We were talking about communication between partners in any aspect.
And this whole thing, the next like 20 minutes of us talking about this, is just going to be.
Is it going to be 20 minutes? Let's do the hourglass.
Yeah, we'll flip the hourglass for now. So that's what we're going to talk about right now. So let's just launch into the thing that we were talking about when we.
Be mindful. We have very little time. If we can't discuss, if we can't resolve, we got to move on to something else.
Well, yeah, we'll do another episode talking about this. Okay. But the thing that we were just talking about, like Ron and I, we need to sit down and we need to talk more. We need to get in each other's heart energy more. We need to, like, what else were we talking about when we sat down? When we first sat down, then you were like, let's.
Communication. Yesterday's, you mentioned throwing, when you communicate, don't throw people into the abyss. Like my communication may be sometimes a little aggressive or a little passionate. I'll raise my voice. And that would tend to throw people into the abyss. Or I'll just, totally alter whatever was ahead to just deal with it in that way. So my communication, as we were talking yesterday, where I assumed I was throwing you into the abyss, and that's where I decided, well, let's record this. Let's capture this discussion and talk about how you want me to communicate with you. How you want me to do my job, do what I'm supposed to do, continue to be your fucking bestie, and but get shit done. How do you want me to communicate? You want a hug? You want a hug, Alan? Let me give you a hug. There you go, Alan. Let's make sure we're in the shot too. There we go. And we can go over there and we can give each other a hug. All right. No, get out of there. See, that's what we can't. There's no time to let a hug is good, but then you have to, you don't want to take advantage of that.
With licking the face.
Right, sure. But
let me follow up on what you just said. So you just said that it was like the abyss and the communication that's really important to touch on as we talk about this. So it's not even that like I want you to be my bestie. It's more like if you really truly see the potential of these massive live events inside of football stadiums where 50,000 people are all spending an hour learning about biotech, an hour learning about blockchain, an hour learning about geopolitics, an hour learning about AI and robotics, and they're spending these hour-long chunks in these all immersive experience design with different gizmos and gadgets and toys.
Well, what if I see that in a convention center? More so
that doesn't exist in a convention center. Like, there's nothing in the world like that. Nothing in the world is quite like that. There's no football. It's when
you say this vision, I think of the film The Warriors.
Like 11
and the guy saying, "Can you dig it?"
Playing against another 11 football players, and instead of there being 22 football players on the field, there's a big stage. And then there's scientists and entrepreneurs that come and sit on the stage, 5 at a time, that talk to 50,000 people sitting around them, and then they're all opening up different parts of their bag that have these different aspects of what they're communicating and teaching about. That does not exist. And then also, so it's not about being a bestie. It's more like, do you think that this vision has the potential to be one of the coolest, most game-changing visions? Because if that's the case, great. And if it's not, then that's when you talk to me about like, okay, what is your alignment then? If there is not enough alignment with what we're doing, then then we got to figure out like, well, who should be a director or producer for the show then instead of you? So like that's just the total truth about it. It's not about like being latched on or attached on to one another. Yeah, so like if the vision's got to work out, and we're not just doing one show. This is not one show for the next 10 years. This is one show, and we rarely get to do fried chicken in between. We're going to bring a comedian onto the show soon. So like we're slowly creeping into doing other shit, and eventually in a couple months, once this is a more sustainable entity, we will have totally other productions going on that are fascinating. Like other people come in and use our studio. We have like everyone not everyone. We have only a couple people that are interested in using our studio space. And so we do produce shows for other people. We had Sunny Jane in from Sun Genomics, and he came in. He's a patron. He wanted to do sessions.
That was fun.
Genomics. So it's like
not too long.
Yeah, not too long. It's fun.
We had some graphics. We played with,
and we learned about the microbiome. And so we got these slow but surely. We're not only doing simulation. We're doing other important productions.
It's coming along.
And like, if you're interested in doing all these productions, including your ideas, and if you're also excited about this 50,000 seat events, then let's do that, right? But if you can't like get into that, then get into whatever you care about then. So that's it. And like, regarding communication, like I'm not saying you tell me how you want to talk to me, or how I should talk to you. It's actually not like force it onto me. It's more like, can I just like explain a story that hopefully makes you feel and understand what I'm going through, so that way then you are more sensitive to the way that you're behaving and causing me stress or anxiety or negative feelings. Because yesterday it was like a couple very difficult message points to deal with, and it's it's a lot easier for me to reply. I forgot to update that one of our guests had canceled, because they literally told me that morning that they canceled, and then and you were basically in a mood of being pissed off, and said for not.
That actually triggered. I was actually enjoying myself until things just started. I was finished there, and I was coming back to simulation, this vision, and that's the shit that I had to deal with. Just whatever.
There's a lot of these. There's thanks for you didn't update him. Not for the other update that I didn't send you about
cost
the
of me
one.
Still having to chip into the overall. You want me to as hard as you want me to work, and also pay for it, and it's just interesting.
Well,
you have to understand that
the pay's a
it's
little
just
complicated because the pay's a little complicated because we got the equipment, sold the old equipment, and then are using the equipment at events, and we still need to figure out exactly how much we want to charge for just the unit, and how much you need to charge for just the director and producer pay, and we need to figure all that out. And
it's one aspect of this empire that you want to build.
It's not an empire.
Well, 50 costs a lot of money to put 50,000 people in a fucking Levi's stadium. You're dealing with millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Okay, so right now we're just trying to pay rent. I mean, you want me to focus on this vision, and how do we get there? Yeah. Oh, really? How do we? Oh, yeah. Really? That's big. Well, it's doable, but that's a big vision, Alan.
But you call
that's a big vision.
When you call it an empire, you don't say it in a loving way. You make me feel like I'm a disgusting person when you say it. That's what I'm trying to communicate to you.
Don't feel like that.
Well, why don't I explain why? When you message me these things, you and count me out of this, and thanks for not updating that.
Get your shit together. I didn't want to hang with you. I just didn't want to hang with you.
But I'm just.
I'm not your bestie there, am I?
Right, and so my mind is racing, and it's thinking as a reply to you is for you going, fuck you for this, fuck you for this, fuck you for this.
Don't tell the viewers at home that I said fuck you.
No, he did not say once fuck me, but it made me feel like that was coming out of his mouth. And then what I was manifesting in my mind in return was well, what if I was just fuck you for this and fuck you for that in return? And I did not do that because it's super detrimental to do that.
Yeah.
And so I replied by saying, love you, Ronnie. I'll keep working on everything you listed above. Have a good night. And so my point is that when you say things like empire, and when you say things like you know, oh, I'm listening to you, and you're moving around and doing other things in the space.
Why can't you believe that I'm doing that?
It's not that I don't believe that you are, it's that I understand neuroscience and you are not giving me your full attention.
How do you know I can't multitask like that, though? I'm sincere when I say that.
Almost every human can multitask, but it means you're dedicating cognitive resources to something else and not giving me 100%. Humans, when they're having serious conversation, like right now, you're not paying attention to what I'm saying.
I'm going to get some fruit or something. I thought we could get some fruit. Did you eat all the strawberries?
It's like sometimes it's like
keep the show going.
The harder the conversation gets for you to have, the more you'll want to like go get fruit or something instead of just like sit down and talk about it. We only, like the 15-minute timer is at like, just cut 3 strawberries.
I'm listening to you. You're talking about the 15-minute
cut
timer.
3 strawberries and come over, because like the timer's almost done. We're gonna cut this off anyway in just like a couple minutes, so just sit down, you know? And like, don't derail us from finishing that thought. Thank you. Like, you can eat up because you wanted them more than I did. I already ate like 7. So think seriously, like, if there is a conversational point, like, look, like, you're not even looking at me right now, you know? Seriously.
We're making TV!
But you do the same thing. You're like, look at me, right? Humans want to be looked at because they want to feel like the other person's giving them their full attention. Like,
and you got my full attention. Okay, you're right here in this fucking room.
I'm getting it right now.
I'm with you right now. How can I possibly avoid it if I'm
listening to you, Ron? No, I'm not. I'm looking at other shit and thinking about other shit. So, all right, now that we're actually...
But on the same token, I'm in the fucking room with you, right here, right now. What's wrong with that?
Looking at each other, we're going to finally get to communication. Awesome. So we're finally getting to communication now. All right. So with all that messaging that happened, at any time, the person can just flip at the other one and just go negative, negative, negative until someone says something positive. Once someone says something positive, then the other person can't reply with a negative. It doesn't work like that. So typically what ends up happening is one person has to nut up, has to be the better person, and not be a douchebag.
That's what you did yesterday, and that's why I love you, Alan. And what's wrong with that?
Well, it doesn't because it's better for the whole collective, as Rack was just sitting here and talking about. You were living in ego instead of we go. Like, if you were living in we go, that message that you drafted to me would be different. It would be like, hey, like, I'm not going to go to Half Moon Bay because of this, and I think that the way that you're scheduling events is, you know, you need to cancel them on time so that we don't have this. And like, there's a whole different way to say it and you haven't even ran a case study to see if the person's gonna reply in a positive way to you when you talk to them in that way.
So a case study.
Immediately jumping to the negative way of communication, thinking that that's the only and best way is not really true. Like, to feel...
Well, you've seen me communicate in different ways. You've seen me take a whole different approach on stuff that bothers me. You know, I'm aware.
I don't think you have yet to something that you really don't like to like really have
diplomatically get my point across to where we can something's got to be done.
And that's partly my doing as well, is that I need to be more receptive to you trying to be more diplomatic in the way that you're approaching things. But like, you got to actually give it a shot. Like, you got to give positivity a shot. In that text, you're drafting it up.
Who's to say this isn't positive? It's positive for me.
Yeah, but it's positive for you because you're taking what emotions you have inside and you're just going bang to the other person. And the other person...
I wish I had a cape and a whip. Yeah! And fucking my eyes turned red. Blah.
And like, that's great for you because you get that feeling. And the person on the other end gets a feeling of shit. And that person has to deal with shit in their mind. Listen, the other person has to deal with shit in their mind for sometimes an hour. They have to dwell on this thought of like, does this person actually like love me, or like me even, because of the way that they're messaging me, because right now it sure does seem like they couldn't give two fucks about the way that I feel, because they'll just message me whatever the fuck they feel like that. Versus the way that I carefully craft messages to make sure that you know that I at least like or love you, versus making it feel like, all right, 15-minute timer's out. So that's been a little short segment into the way that Alan and Ron are trying to develop and grow as humans and as a relationship as producers of this show and many more to come.
Are we going to continue talking about this when we end the show?
Well, I was thinking about ending it right now. Do you have another topic you want to talk about before we end it? Communicating's hard, and we'll keep learning over time.
You want to go another 15? That's 15 minutes.
Well, I just flipped it just so we could at least.
We should at least be ready to interact with the audience in case somebody wanted to throw in their 2 cents. Yeah, if we did a show like this, people could help.
Yeah, we'll work on it. I mean, I can go pull up the live stream right now and go see if anyone's saying anything, but
yeah, or if anybody's watching.
Yeah.
Can you see it on your phone? Can you see live texts on your phone? I'm not sure if you can on YouTube.
I'm looking at the comments right now.
Oh, there I am. Can I see it? Can I look at it?
Well, I'm trying to look at the comments.
Let me see it.
Comments are not supported on private videos. God damn it! I forgot.
Dirty rat bastards. They are on Facebook.
I forgot to move. That's why our Rack Rasm video is also at 0 views.
Why?
Because it's at private. I didn't change the settings to public. These live streams
this is private?
Yeah.
Oh, they got us. You got me good, Alan.
All right, we love you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you. This was a lot of fun, Alan.
We're gonna make this public.
Yeah, let's tilt up so we can get a hug, and we'll zoom out, and here we go, and get a hug, and then we'll have good night. Good night, Alan. Good night, viewers. You're the best, Alan. Over here, you're the best. Yeah, bye, everyone. We love you. Let's fade to black. Let's just fade to black and end this show.
My bad. I'm gonna change that to